hustle till I'm dead, cause I know that's life. I'm trying to get to the bag and I'll pay the price. I'll sacrifice all those late nights. Wake up early, eyesight blurry. You think it's dumb, Three Stooges like Curly, but it's not that story. I'm not lost like Dory. I'ma get my glory, won't stop. You know I see you trying to get by.
So music's always been a thing for me. My sister passed away when I was younger. Understanding how to deal with that type of loss and emotion wasn't the easiest thing for me. So I found writing my thoughts out was good, and I was very good at rhyming and creating poetry. So as I learned throughout school the different types of poetry, it slowly developed into music. I could sing, and then puberty happened, so that all changed for me, but I was still very good with my words. I had met a gentleman, he lived up the street by the name of Combine, and he had a purple disc, I'll never forget it, and it just said 3 demo on it or something like that. And it was 3 hip-hop instrumentals. And I started to recite some of my poetry to it, and just the way it resonated in my heart was like, oh, I've got rhythm here. It kind of made me feel better. So throughout my life, whenever I go through pits, I would write music. I had stopped for the longest because I didn't understand how to sell music. And growing up the way I grew up, if you couldn't make money on something, you shouldn't do it. And I shouldn't trust somebody else who could tell me how to make money on it. So I went to school for music business, and I started to learn the industry. So now I know the back end. I help a lot of artists around here. I help a lot of businesses around here sell and develop their music, which kind of just reignited all of my passion for creating music. So now I'm back to doing that.
When you're 5 years old and you wonder why your family likes the 2/3 nose, so let the truth be told. This how the story goes. A boy who watched his sister as her body's cold.
So talking about it is still kind of difficult trying to get around it, but when I put things into music and into rhythm, it seems to flow naturally and becomes easier. I've got a lot of songs that I haven't put out that are about my life. And I don't know if I'll ever put them out, but my mother wasn't, I wouldn't say she was a bad mom, but she wasn't all there after my sister passed. So there would be nights that there wouldn't be food for us. There'd be nights that she would switch modes from being loving and caring to very negative. And I think the first time I remember, she calls it running away, I call it being kicked out. I was like 8, I was hiding under my bed to get away from her. And my brother told her I ran across the train tracks. And I remember her saying some very negative things about me. And at that point, I realized that she's not looking out for my best interest, that I need to figure that out. And at 8 years old, that's kind of tough. I've written a lot of music about it. I did a lot of couch hopping with friends and family. I would go stay for the longest. Sometimes I would crawl in a window, sleep, crawl out the window before their parents woke up. I had friends that were going through similar situations where their parent wasn't all there, so they just didn't care. So we controlled the house. We were 12, 13, 14 years old, and we made the decisions. The parents listened to us because they clearly didn't know how to survive the way that we. So from, I would say 12 to like 17, there was a strong turning point in my life of, I can never go back to what I once was, because that's failure. Failure is something I will never experience in my life again, unless it's a loss to get to a larger win.
This morning, I woke up, saw a couple of my problems and rolled up, took an L to the face.
And the winner is Silas.
I remember the days of free lunch, now I'm stuck in a place that's taking my time.
I worked the business side of things until COVID, and then Tone was like, yo, let's just write a record. I was like, all right, bet, we gonna do this. And it was my version to the artist of, you know what, stop doubting me, let me show you what I can do. And now I'm the most streamed artist in the state. All right. Something that has changed with my music is being a street kid. I can talk about that with the best of them. I used to have a reputation that would stand behind what I would talk about. But now I don't want my nieces and nephews to ever experience what I went through, to ever question who are their supporters in their life, to ever feel like they just can't do something. So now my music is pushing this more motivation style more of the uplifting music while still kind of being strong to the hip-hop roots that I have.
Get to the bag and I'll pay the price, I'll sacrifice. All those late nights, wake up early, eyesight blurry. You think it's dumb, Three Stooges like Curly, but it's not.